YouTube, welcome to my channel. Today on the next Duduk lesson, I'm going to talk about half a tone, half a notes. So what's the half a note? So half a note is a different, as many variety of the musical instruments. Some musical instruments have actual button produce half a note, but not in a case of the Duduk. The Duduk, to produce a half a note on a Duduk, you have to open up your finger just a little bit to be able to get the right sound, that half a note. And then the position on every Duduk will be different, very little different, tiny difference, because as I said, the Duduk is not a mass-produced instrument, but it's individually handmade, by the famous masters. When a famous, well-known master makes the Duduk, he makes it, I'm using an MKS Duduk. So every master uses a little bit different technique to tune his Duduk, but mostly the technique is the same. So I'm gonna show you a little like a composition. I just play a little composition, but I use a lot of half a note technique. As you can see, I curve my fingers and open up the hole a little bit. So there's a few techniques needs to be done. The number one, a very simple one, is just when you angle your fingers on the right, and then you angle it here on this position. This is the simplest technique. Another technique the Duduk players use, when they just lower their fingers this way. So it will be sounds like, I don't use that technique, but some professional players do. I'm gonna try. You see, there's another technique. There's a third one. Not too many people talk about. There's a technique when you're not using it, angle it this way or lifting your finger this way, but it's you moving your finger, like I'm going to show it in this position so you can see. So you're just moving your finger up or down, straight. You're covering the hole completely, but you're just moving your finger. Look. I'm sorry, I have to cover this hole. So I'm doing a 3 and 4 now. So what I do, I just move my finger up towards the other finger. I don't let it use an angle. So this is a third way of doing it. And then in the upper parts, let's say if you cover 2 holes and you do like full note and then you want to go half a note, so you do like, you see, I'm moving this finger just sideways and open up the half a note. The same thing will be on this one. So look. I'm using this rate for a long time, so I gotta switch some rates because this rate is really tired, I'm gonna use a different reed. Yeah, this one's good. So this is just a few techniques that I wanted to share with you. I personally used when I use the fingers sideways, but a lot of people use it, they'll lift the finger this way, and then I see a lot of professional players use it just to move the finger towards the other finger, opening the holes sideways. So you open it sideways. You don't angle your fingers. So all 3 techniques are good, whatever you feel comfortable with. Like I said, the most simple one is just to angle your your fingers from the position on it will be this way from the right hand, and then it will be this way from the left hand. So and there is another tip I want to give you. When you open the lower finger here is always open halfway. So when you do the scale, before you let all the fingers go, your previous note will be this note. I mean, so when you covered both holes and you left the tongue half open. So this is half note. This is actually a note which when you open your tongue halfway. So I want to touch this topic in this video, share with you a few techniques when you do the half notes, and you gotta have to learn how to do half notes. In the beginning, when you do the scale, it will be a little harder. It'll feel a little harder, but because when you do half a note, you have to give it a more air. So you're gonna do. When you don't give enough air, you don't have the right sound and position. So practice a lot, do the exercises, and again, for when you're learning the instrument, even a few months down the road, the half a note comes after you develop the technique, the muscles, a proper breathing technique, and you do a lot of exercises. And then you do the half note exercises when you can do it properly. And then in the beginning, don't be discouraged. It's going to be hard. It's going to be like, oh, I can't, it doesn't sound right. But trust me, you'll get to it. Just diligence, a little bit hard work. There's nothing hard about it. Just the practice. That's all you need. And thank you very much. I will see you in our next videos when we'll touch some other topics for Duduk lessons.